Ha ha! Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Listen, most people try to outrun interest with crypto only. Smart money runs two engines. Kill guaranteed interest with MoneyMaxx. Keep your upside with crypto. Tonight, I'll show you how a 22% risk-free payoff beats most maybe yields and how to barbell both. Let's get into it. Happy freaking Tuesday to each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having an absolutely outstanding day. Yeah, we're going to go through, you know how we do on the channel? We're going to go through a little back and forth with my partner in crime, ChatGPT. We're going to get into it. I was just thinking earlier today, I was running through some, doing a little bit of running around and kind of gathering some thoughts while I was out walking. And I had this idea of uh, what is the word? Uh, risk off. Risk off was one of my thought processes. Risk off was one of de-risking, right? A form of de-risk. If crypto is risk on, we need a form of de-risk. And I just thought about the MoneyMaxx thing, and I just thought that absolutely makes sense. But let me verify that my thought process makes sense. So I had a little conversation, a little back and forth with ChatGPT, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way, and that'd be super, super awesome. We got all kind of great things going on with crypto and Flare and XRP Fi. But I just thought to myself, we started this months and months and months ago with the whole idea of taking all our valuable assets and using it to pay stuff off, debt off in this old traditional financial system. So that's been the journey. That's been my thought process for sure. And I told you guys that I would be kind of sprinkling this in because I really do think it's the solution um, for sure. But it's a two, if not three pronged approach that makes it works better. It makes it work better. And it's also allows you to become more ergodic. You know, we love that, right? Practicing ergodicity as well. So that is massively, massively important. So I'm excited to share with you guys. We'll show we'll show the questions. We'll show me rambling in my first initial prompt to have a conversation with ChatGPT and kind of get its thoughts on how all of this works together in combination. So I thought this de-risk thing kept popping into my mind while I was talking, while I was walking. De-risk. The Money Max is a form of de-risk. And so we went into that. We got into a little bit of that. So I can't wait to share it with you guys for sure. Appreciate you guys checking in. Hit the like button. Oh, so before I forget, tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, you'll be able to hop on if you would like to get a more full presentation what the MoneyMaxx account is and be able to see what it looks like. 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll make sure I leave a link in the description because I forgot to do it in prepping for this live stream. So you guys can register for that live deal there. And during the course of the live deal, they'll give you an opportunity to um, um, ask for a personal free assessment of your personal situation, which I think is hugely, hugely smart. But Hydra, we're going to get into it, my friend. We're gonna share my back and forth. You know how I love to share my back and forth because I think it's important, to see where I'm kind of thinking and then see how ChatGPT responds. And a lot of times ChatGPT will be like, yeah, no, you're off a little bit. Yeah, you're kind of right. So I like that. For sure. I like to be able to do that. Oh, you can't. Yeah, I don't think they no, I thought I'll have to check on that. That's great that you brought that up, Hydro, because I thought that when I met with the founder and the corporate officers that they mentioned that they were able to do it in Canada, US and Canada. But I'll check on that. Are you pretty certain that you can't do it in Canada? But I'll check. I was just actually texting with one of the people there. I think she might still be on. So I'll check with her again while we're doing a live stream. Um, to make sure. Let me do that real quick. I thought that they said that. but maybe not. Well, I thought they said that. So yeah, we're going to get into a couple more people check in for sure. This, I think, 2 to 3 pronged approach is very, 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 very smart. I just couldn't articulate why. I couldn't articulate why the 2 pronged approach. Um, Remember, my initial conversation, what I shared with you guys was, I just felt like the audience was taking the crypto and they were going to take the wins and they were going to take that and, pay off debt, buy the new house, buy some rental properties, buy some um, cars and, all that kind of stuff like that. And I was just thinking, like they're going to rid themselves of the valuable asset to take care of all this TradFi or old money system stuff that's happened. I'm like, there's got to be, it's got to be a better way. And I had heard about velocity banking. I've been studying velocity banking for years. And how when you have these thoughts and you start putting them together, the universe, I'm telling you, the universe will just come up with an answer. If you ask, right? Because you're asking, it'll give you solutions. And next thing you know, before you know it, I'm meeting with the corporate office people of the people who actually started velocity banking. Corporate officers of the people who actually started velocity banking. It's crazy how the universe works. It's really, really crazy. All right, so let me see here. What we got going on? Why do we have, let me do this. I feel like I'm seeing my hand waving around. Let's do that. Yeah, let's go like that. Appreciate you guys checking in. So, look, we all know what's going on with Flare. Is awesome. All is perfect. We all know what's going on XRP. Awesome. XRP5. Awesome. Can't wait for that live interview to drop. But let's get right into this MoneyMaxx thing. Again, 2-3 pronged approach that I think is just smart. Now, I didn't come up with the genius behind it. ChatGPT did. I just came up with the thought behind it that made sense to me. All right, so let's go here. Let's go here. We're going to share because that is fair. I haven't had my first meal of the day yet. Yeah, that's right. No meal yet. I'm doing an extended fast. Usually I eat like one something. All right, you ready for this? I'm going to share with you my long, rambling thought where I finally ended it in ChatGPT's answer. Look at this. Look. I gave it a prompt to tell him who it was. You are a MoneyMaxx account software technology expert, having used this technology since 2004. My understanding, it's been around since 2004, right? So this whole rambling to get to here, okay? Just so you know. I said, I think that is what I call a de-risk. And I think that having a 2-pronged approach to creating wealth, getting out of debt, saving interest is better than simply the 1-pronged approach, which is using crypto to pay off the debt. What are your thoughts? Okay, what are your thoughts? Do you see the MoneyMaxx account in reference to crypto holders as a form of a de-risk? Again, I'm coming up with thoughts. De-risk came to my mind. What are your thoughts? Do you see the MoneyMaxx account in reference to crypto holders as a form of de-risk in their financial future? And I'm going to run through most of this going through here so you can kind of see the back and forth, right? Short answer, says ChatGPT 5 thinking. I would frame MoneyMaxx as a de-risk engine that pairs perfectly with a risk on crypto barbell, which they talk about the barbell strategy and ergodicity. Highly recommend you read that. Short answer, yes. I'd frame MoneyMaxx as a de-risk engine that pairs perfectly with a risk on crypto barbell. Crypto hunts asymmetric upside. MoneyMaxx harvests guaranteed after-tax yield by cutting interest and duration on your debts. Together, they create a 2 or 3-pronged plan. Look at that. That's what I was saying. Together, they create a 2 or 3-pronged plan that's far safer than, quote unquote, wait for bull run than pay it all off. It's very, very interesting, right? Very, very interesting the way it kind of works like that. Crypto equals the upside, volatility, timing risk. Money max equals downside control. Converts sloppy interest costs into risk-free return. Improves your cash flow and shortens the clock, which is, to me, is the most important part. Barbell it says. Barbell it. Let crypto chase the 3 to 10x potentials while MoneyMaxx locks in certain savings today. So you win in bull markets and don't drown in the bear market. Because I know for a fact that that has happened to people having to sell their crypto in bear markets. I know that for a fact. Happens all the time, right? Says here, why it's a real de-risk. Why the money max account is a real de-risk. Okay. Guaranteed yield versus probabilistic gains. And I asked it to expound on this later in the conversation. Paying down 22% APR credit card interest is a real after-tax 22% return. There's no token that guarantees that. That guarantees that. We all know about the crazy gains we can get, but he's just saying guarantees that. All right, sequence of returns armor. Lower monthly nut equals you're not forced to sell your Bitcoin, XRP, or Solana at the bottom to make payments. It happens to all of us, to the best of us, but it's painful when it has to happen. Time compression. Velocity style cash flow sequencing is what MoneyMaxx systematizes. Cuts years of payments, less time in debt. This is such a great point. I wish I would have thought of this. Less time in debt equals less exposure to life's events. So true. Like wishing you had money to lend a family member, but you don't have the money because it's all invested. For example, behavior automation. Software plus rules is greater than vibes. MoneyMaxx turns I'll be disciplined into calendars, transfers, and guardrails. So very cool. A quick concrete example says household with 48,000 revolving debt across cards, credit cards at 18 to 24% APR if you're lucky, plus a car at 6.5% if you're lucky, and a mortgage at 6%. It's pretty doable, even though it's not really 6%. You're really multiplying that by 12 and you're really doubling that, I should say, and then multiplying it by 20 to 30 years. Typical minimums bleed 11,000 a year in interest. MoneyMaxx sequencing plus chunking plus a data alignment commonly recurs $300 to $800 a month in free cash flow and cuts $20,000 to $60,000 in lifetime interest without new income, which is the genius behind that technology is it adjusts with where you are. It adjusts with where you are. Oh, lost a job. Okay, let's take out that income. We're factoring. Here's your new thing. Here's the new interest you'll be saving. Here's the oh, sudden you got a pay raise. Oh, okay, we're gonna adjust that. Here's your new payoff date. Here's the new more interest you'll be saving. Up, you just got a lump sum of cash of $30,000. Okay, here's the $30,000. You put it in there. Oh, okay, this is what we can do, and it comes with your new strategy. It moves with you, which I think is awesome. I think it's awesome. All right, so what do we got here? Also, over 24 to 36 month typical interest avoided dwarfs the license cost. This is the lowest risk return on investment move most debt carrying crypto holders can make. Is it worth 2 to 4K? The value math. If your interest burn is 6K a year and the software knocks 2 to 4 off this year, conservative, your payback period is months. Your payback period is months, not years. The 2 to 3 prong plan, how you pitch it, prong A. Again, I'm just reading all of this here. prong A, de-risk, MoneyMaxx, align paydays, due dates, automate snowball snipe velocity chunks, protect utilization and cash buffer, and shorten amortization. Shorten amortization is it's like if it's not one, it's 1A because it's killing people because that is guaranteed interest you're paying. It's not maybe interest I'm going to be paying. There's amortization. They got it factored in. You're going to be paying that interest, especially with the mortgage and personal loans, not line of credits, but loans. All right, prong B, accumulate crypto. Keep your long-term stack intact. Only peel profits on schedule, 10 to 20%, new all-time highs. Okay, cool. So keep your long-term stack intact. Only peel profits on schedule into targeted principal kills that MoneyMaxx has queued. All right, because you could just tell it everything you do and you just input it. You just input it. And it'll give you it's technology. Dry powder is the prong 3. Okay. The cash flow you're free with MoneyMaxx becomes either emergency buffer or low risk bear market or low risk DCA during the bear dips. I'm just reading this to you now. Okay. During the bear dips, choice is greater than chance. Choice is greater than chance. All right. Guardrails. Keep 1 to 3 months essential expenses. Let me say that again. Keep 1 to 3 months essential expenses as a cash buffer. Cap revolving utilization. MoneyMaxx will help you with the utilization thing. I swear, I'm thinking it's crazy. 30 to 45%, less than 35 to 45%. MoneyMaxx helps manage this, which is great. On the utilization, if we're down the credit score thing. Okay. Never chunk if it would leave you short for essentials in the next 30 to 45 days. Pre-commit your profit-taking ladder in crypto so debt wins are systematic, not emotional. Very, very good. Some objections some people might say, I'll just pay it off when all season hits. I'm telling you, this is what I'm thinking. People are going to be thinking. Cool. What if it doesn't? There's about 60-40 right now on X. We got people screaming at my guy, Virtual Bacon, on his YouTube channel, screaming, "You lied! There's all season is not happening." I mean, screaming on today's live stream, screaming at this dude, and just this state of panic. You lied. The alt season is not happening now. You said we're in the alt season. Crazy. Question. Or not, objections. I'll just pay it off when the alt season hit. Cool. What if it doesn't? MoneyMaxx saves money regardless of the market direction. MoneyMaxx saves money regardless of the market direction and reduces the chances you'll be forced to sell crypto at a loss. Like I couldn't have said it better myself. This is what we say on the channel all the time, most times. And is better than or. We have been conditioned in so many areas of our life to think everything is or. Everything is or. Everything is left and right and Republican and Democrat and this religion or that religion or this everything is this, right? We've been kind of conditioned to think that way. But when it comes to money and finances and creating wealth, a 2 and a 3 and a 4-pronged approach is just better. It's just better. Right? Software seems expensive. That might be an objection. If it saves 10 to 50K, that to me is very, very low. Everything I've seen is 6 figures in interest saved. Everything I've seen is 6 figures in interest saved. Everything. if it saves 10 to 50K in interest and 3 to 7 years on the timeline, the question flips to what's the cost of not running it this cycle? And again, we've been through a few cycles, right? I would tell people to think about the previous bear cycles that they went through. What was what was going on there? Were you one of the people who had to sell some of your crypto in the bear cycle? What were your challenges in the bear cycle? I know it's most likely revolving around revolving debt. I know that for a fact because I have the debt statistical numbers of personal and consumer debt, corporate debt, small business debt, and in nations debt. It's massive. Most people have 30% interest credit cards. Most people, 7 to 8 out of 10. These are the facts. There's not like, oh no, no, those are the facts. That's why I say you don't have an income problem. You don't have a debt problem. In the end, what you have is an interest problem that you weren't aware of, that we weren't aware of, that system has constructed to extract from you. And we're in crypto in an effort to try to fight it. But there's a 2 or 3 pronged approach that'll help you fight it more effectively, and faster. I was about to say more faster. I was about to say more faster. That'd have been funny. So, what's the cost of not running it this cycle? That's what we did. And for us personally, we looked at just kind of give you what we did when we after we met with the corporate people, we were at uh, in the hotel room, talked, discussed it. Then we talked more when we got home. But the whole idea was this. Right. I love to invest, man. I'm like, I just want to invest and invest and invest. And we had this conversation where if, right, we did our personal assessment, did all the stuff, right? And let's just say, for example, $100,000 in interest saved, for example, $100,000 in interest saved, um, decades saved in time to be in a situation in 3.4 years. And we said, for example, would $1,000 get us to $100,000 in the cycle? Because we only have the cycle, right? We don't have, right? The only thing we got for us in the digital asset space, right, as holders is the cycle. So 4 years. With that $1,000, it's not really 4 years. It's the about a year of the cycle, right? Of the bull cycle. Would 1,000 get us to 100,000? Could we take that and say, okay, I'm gonna buy this. Trust me, bro token. I'm gonna buy this BitTensor. I'm gonna buy this Near Protocol. I'm gonna buy whatever. And can we turn that to $100,000? That was our thinking. We were going back and forth with that. And for us, it was like everything about the investment made sense. Decades of time and $100,000 in debt, just of interest, rather, of interest. Everything about the investment just made sense because we were asking the right questions. We had to ask ourselves the right questions. And then the opportunity cost of not doing it, because I knew, again, that people were going to be taking from conversations, taking the crypto to do the thing. And now having to be without most of the asset that got them, the wind, moon, bag, or whatever it is. And then coming up on or upon another bear cycle. And I know that, like, we know the loop. We've been here for a while now. We know that loop. But if you can tackle the debt and the interest with current income and keep the vast majority of the appreciating asset that you would be accumulating during the bear, in addition to that, right? It just, for me, it just like made sense. Have a two-prong approach now, right? I mean, I didn't think about the two-prong thing until today, but months ago when we decided to fly out to the corporate office, this is what I'm thinking. Like, how can I help the audience? That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, uh, don't need to cover that. Bull runs are optional. Bull runs are optional. Interest is mandatory until you kill it. I treat MoneyMaxx as the de-risk and crypto as upside. One locks in guaranteed savings, the other hunts asymmetry. Do both. Do both. Bottom line, yes, position MoneyMaxx as a de-risk system for crypto holders. It gives them certainty to pair with crypto's uncertainty. That barbell is the grown-up way. This is ChatGPT saying it. That barbell is the grown-up way to survive this cycle and come out cleaner, faster, and freer. Very, very powerful. Very, very. Now there's more. It's very, very powerful. So, and that again for me, let's get my thoughts. Let me get my thoughts and put it on. Um, put it out there and get the smarter brain, have a conversation, see if my thoughts are aligned, and it just happens to be, it's aligned. Cali Cat's in the building. How are you? Hydro says, I really do like the automation of MoneyMaxx. Yeah. Yeah. For Miss Crystal Seas really loves it. But I like the moving along with you thing. I like that. Right. You invest in yourself one time, you have this thing that is guiding you and directing you and instructing you and with your current situation. Right. I like that. It's like a living organism, right? It's like a living financial GPS. Like I love, 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 love that. Yep. She said, not at this time for the Canada thing. They can live anywhere, but their banking funds need to be US. Got it. Yep. So there it is, Hydro. You were right, my friend. Mix is in the building. What's going on, bro? How are you? Consistency, CJ. Yes. Yosef, teach, chief. What's good, bro? I appreciate you checking in, sir. So again, it's for me, I'm always thinking, how can I serve the audience? I'm looking at it from our perspective and looking at the things we got on, like the things we got on as business owners, and raising, got the little Miss Crypto season, all these different things, and we're in this thing as just as much as you guys are. So I'm thinking, how do we help the audience go on this generational wealth journey? What's the best things? Because I already know. I already know like the personal financial stuff. I already know. I lived in that space, right, for decades. Like I already know. So my thing is helping people be honest with themselves and taking decisions so that they don't feel helpless. But it starts with being honest. And the only way to do that is to be transparent. That's why I share the questions. I just share it. So people can have honest conversations with themselves and then make a decision. Is it worth the investment in us for this thing here? It's like it's important, right? For us, when we flew out to Florida and I'm just learning about the mortgage interest, I was just shocked that that was legal. Like it is 100% legal the way they do the amortizations on these loans. So anyway, that and then the whole credit card thing, and they keep changing credit cards. They keep changing it. They keep changing the credit cards to keep figuring out how to extract a few more dollars from you every single month. This is what they keep doing because it's the banks behind them who have the money to afford to hire the people, the smart people who know how to extract from you. That's what they have. That's what they have. That's why in the book, The Great Taking, and I remember I was reading The Great Taking by David Webb, and he was saying the very same thing. He was saying that they have the money to buy the lawyers and the other people to put these things in place so that you never discovered that it's happening and then go and fight it. And he showed little examples where the people of a certain state got educated, went to the local state assemblies, the local da, 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 and just get in court, make an argument. And eventually, right when they were just about to change it so that the assets you have are your assets, the bank people sent in their lawyers, threatened the state. This is literal facts. Threaten the state if you change this in your local USC codes and make their assets, we will sue you and we will bankrupt your state. Facts. It happened in, I think it was two states, Tennessee and one of the Dakotas. I mean, facts. So anyway, tonight, I'll make sure I get that link. I'll leave a link for you guys. Hopefully, it's not too late to register. I don't think it is. Um, Let me ask her. Yeah, we have our own little liaison for us in corporate. Um, um, Hold on. So yeah, I appreciate you guys checking in. So this is what I wanted to do is kind of share this with you guys. We're going to talk some crypto now, but I want to let you know, remind you guys about tonight at 7 p.m. Central. Rick Cisneros checked in. What's going on, bro? Tonight at 7, right? Because I think it's really, really important that we equip ourselves. We equip ourselves with the tools because they have the tools. They have the tools. So we have to equip ourselves with the right financial tools. Yosef says, you're teaching us how to fish instead of just giving us the fish. Yes, sir. I appreciate you saying that. Yosef said, it's coincidence that you brought up real estate. My friend was thinking about taking a HELOC loan to get into DeFi. I'm like, I don't know about that. It's got to be an easier way. Well, there is an easier way for sure. It's a financial tool. It is a financial tool when used correctly. If not, not great. Yeah, you have to use that. You have to know how to use that tool, right? And the thing I love about MoneyMaxx is it takes your personal line of credits that you might get from a bank. It takes your HELOC, which is a form of a personal line of credit, and it factors that into your stuff. So it's a great tool for getting rid of debt. It's a great tool for leveraging financial strategies, but you got to know. You have to know what those are. And you don't want to be doing things at the wrong time and doing the wrong things, right? The great thing about MoneyMaxx is it is also a wealth technology. So it not only strategizes your cutting interest and get rid of debt, but it also strategizes wealth accumulation. Also, same thing. Yeah. So that is really, really good. Absolutely, really, really good, right? Because and one of the things that they learned is what the guy told me, the owner, creator, is that the real estate investors were really, really, really getting themselves in massive trouble. And think about this: the real estate investors, right? These are just, these are they're investing in homes and they got rental income and the whole thing, but they found themselves in massive, massive debt because they couldn't remember. They're changing those people out there are changing the strategy as you go along. They're changing it and they're changing the rules. They keep subjecting you to new rule changes, new ways to formulate interest. This is why the real estate investors were getting themselves in so much trouble. They thought the banks were their friends. Oh, no, they are not. But they didn't know how to leverage it. But so HELOC is a great financial tool, Yosef. But if you don't know how to use it the right way, it won't be as valuable. So I don't know. Get into DeFi that's interesting to me. Now HELOC is a different kind of line of credit than a personal loan. So the interest is different for sure. It's a great financial tool. It's calculated completely different than a car loan or a home loan amortization or a credit card with the average daily balance. It's a great tool. I'm not sure if the DeFi thing is the thing. I would think first the debt that person is in first and how to use that HELOC to wipe that debt in record time. So if he or she is able to access a HELOC, because it's a great financial tool, but you have to have a strategy around it to use that tool. So, Joseph, okay, CJ, can you start putting your contact? So, yeah, did you get my email? That's my contact. Let me put my contact. That's the contact for the channel for sure. I respond to all of those. That's my thing there. So, yeah, I just want to share that. I'll make sure I put that link here if you guys want to go. So that the way it works, I give you a link. You put your name, your email, and your phone number. It allows you to register. It's a form of registration for the live webinar tonight, 7 p.m. Okay. So I'll make sure I get that for you guys. And I think, again, it's a two-pronged approach. We're all here for the same reason. We're all here trying to create this generational wealth. But there's a lever. Where am I here? Like this lever on us, like this foot on the neck, and it's not your income. It's not your debt alone. It's the interest. The interest is the thing because it's weaponized against you. So you need a tool to take that away. Is he doing DeFi, Yosef? He wants to do DeFi? So the Patreon would be a place for that connection for sure. But yeah, have him reach out in the email, bro. So that's the issue. I mean, besides the knowledge, the fact that they misled us to focus on the interest rate, to focus on the payment, that's the hoodwink, that's the bamboozle. Yes, but now that you know, you need a tool because they have tools. This average daily rate and the way they do that with credit cards is a tool that they came up with. Okay, to extract value, to extract your cash. You need a tool to flip it on their heads, right? That's what this is. That's why I'm glad to share it. So, um, so anyway, I wanted to share who is That's my little rant. Let me make sure I get this right now before I forget. I'm looking forward to this. Um, no, I don't need to go there. I'm looking forward to this thing from when the shift happens, right? When the shift happens with that guy, he's going to be interviewing Hugo. He's already interviewed Hugo. I'm sorry. He's going to be dropping that interview Wednesday when the shift happens. He's a really good interviewer. Oh, she. Okay. Um, Again, that's the thing there. You click that, it's going to take you to a thing. Scroll down, name, number, email, whatever. Now they know you're showing up to the live event. It's a live event, 7 p.m. Central Time. It's like 2 hours from now. uh, yeah, 2 hours since she's probably getting ready because she hosted um, the thing. Yosef says she's trying to learn, but can't explain it better than me. I just know how to use the platforms, but explaining it is totally different. Yeah. So is she talking out DeFi outside of Flare, right? Yeah. So we have this $50 an hour for that, but that's what she's talking about. But yeah, we can hang out. For sure. I'd love to help her. There it is. There. So did you hear about that? Yeah. When the shift happens, let me find it. Um, that guy he's interviewed Hugo Filion from Flare, and he's going to drop that interview on Wednesday, which is I guess is today Monday or today's Tuesday? Okay, they can register. So you got to register before 6:55 p.m. if you want to register for that. Highly recommend you get there, get your questions answered. You'll be able to get a look at what the MoneyMaxx account looks like, what it looks, yeah, what it looks like. Yeah, you'll be able to do that. 6:55. There's the link to register. Let me find this. 6:55 p.m. She's so good. She's very responsive to my questions. All right. Let me find it real quick before I share it. I think he dropped like quote unquote two little bits of that interview from when the shift happens. Oh, by the way, if you're a big time Flare ecosystem fan, the word is big time getting out about the value of the decentralized Oracle system that we got going on in Flare. I don't know if you know that, is getting out big time. Um, because apparently it was these third party oracles that caused a big problem with the pricing that exposed, you know, that led to the exposure on these exchanges. Now, I could have sworn I had at least one of these when the shift happens. Yeah. Panos is hooking up with Flare. That's good to see. That's good to hear. Pano. Oh, here's one right here. Okay. I got it. I got it, fam. I got one. I got one. Yeah, Panos from Anados Finance. He's hooking up with in talks with Flare about trying to figure out how to connect that thing. Uh, that would be awesome. Panos is a long time builder in space. All right, so right here, this is uh now this is a live thing. Hugo, interesting. 50 years ago, London powered global finance. Today, Flare Networks is building that role for the world's largest cryptocurrency, starting with XRP. With data built into the network and a growing DeFi ecosystem, Flare Networks is the hub chain where assets like XRP, Bitcoin, and Doge and Litecoin and XLM come to create value. So that's pretty cool. When the shift, he does a really good job. Seems like my internet is not great. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. That's going to drop tomorrow. I didn't share with sound. Share that with sound. Let's see if we can't take a listen real quick. Share that with sound. take a listen here real quick. Come on, bros. Come on. My thing is spinning. Yeah, no first meal yet. Interesting. No first meal. It's 5 o'clock. I'm trying a new fasting thing too. It's a 36-hour fast, and then it's 36 hours for a fast, and then 4 or 5 days of 4 meals a day, made up of protein, fats, carbos. That is interesting. 4 meals a day. And apparently it is big time next level. Visceral fats, health, metabolisms, major value add. So I don't know what's going on here, family. Come on. I just wanted to share this thing here before I hop off. And it's not cooperative. Let me check with the chat. Rick Cisneros in the building. What's going on? I forgot to. Did you say something a couple of times, Rick? Rick Cisneros says, CJ, this is why it's so important to spread the message from Raul Paul. He said, we are in the greatest macro trade in history that can financially change our lives. Just buy Max 7 and hold. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. That's right. Mixed teaching is learning also. That's exactly right. It's learn knowledge, activity knowledge, modeling knowledge, teaching knowledge. Yes, indeed. So my thing is not copyright. I wanted to share that little X deal. I feel like I don't have anything up here that why it's spinning like this, but it is spinning. I mean, it's Tuesday. Wait, who is doing anything? Let me see it. Make sure I don't have it. My DeFi business up. I don't think I do. Let me try that again. Do this, this, that. Yep, that should work. So yes, we're in a blessed space for sure to be here early in this new financial system. And Rick, right? There's going to be new valuable assets in this new financial system, right? New valuable assets in this new financial system. What happened here? My thing just totally went away. My browser just totally went away. Grab that link in the chat. I don't know what's going on right now. Yeah, so my thing just went away. My Opera, it was like my Opera just closed on its own. I don't know if people are going to still be here or not, but it just went away on its own. What's going on, JR? My browser just went completely dead for no reason. I have no idea why. But anyway, I hope you guys are still here. I lost all my tabs. I can't share. Uh, I appreciate you, Joseph. Rick says, CJ, this education needs to be taught in high school before people buy houses. Unfortunately, they left it out. So the poor stay blind and stay in the bank's financial jail, extracting interest quietly. Yes, sir. Without question. That is the deal. That is the deal. My mentor used to say this all the time. Sometimes your biggest strength can become your biggest weakness. And what we have an awesome system, freedoms, democracies, et cetera, et cetera. Those things lead to trust. Those things lead to trust. And so what can happen is we can get ourselves into a situation to be hoodwinked and bamboozled because we rely on trusting representatives, trusting the people we put in office. Trust, 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 trust. And what people do, the greed people do, the greedy, is leverage that trust and take advantage of that trust to not ask questions. That's why crypto is so awesome, because crypto is trust but verify. They don't want that message out. That's the message. Trust but verify. That's what the digital asset brings, besides this opportunity for, to create generational wealth, this idea of trust but verify. Hugely, hugely important. So that we are not taken advantage of. And this is what the cartel and old money has been doing for decades. Take advantage of the trust. That's what happened. Now you even have a paid group of people who take advantage of the trust. It's called lobbyist, the lobbies. Crazy. All right, fam. I'm gonna hop off here. I wish I could share that the thing from Hugo, but my land, I don't know what happened. It just disappeared on me. Let me see here. It just disappeared. I was just sharing some cool stuff there and it just disappeared. Find it real quick. And then I'm going to grab something to eat. I promised I would share this clip. I don't know why people are all excited about everything Larry Fink is saying. I'm still confused on that, Joseph. Like it's some badge of honor that, Larry Fink wants to tokenize everything. I don't trust him or BlackRock. One, as far as I can throw them. Like I seriously don't trust them. Seriously, don't trust them. Wind shift. Nope. All right, I can't find it. So, what a major. Like, what is this? Is this a different stream? What's going on? Right. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you being here. I'll remember to put that link for the thing. Sign up today. Get your questions answered. Attend the thing live, and then most importantly, get your own personal assessment. You'll be able to say, is it worth it or is it not worth it? But at least you'll know kind of where you stand. Yeah. Is it going to be that personal assessment is going to cause you to really look at your personal finances when you're filling out this information? Yeah. I'm not sure that's a bad thing, though, to really know where you are and have honest conversations and attack it now, right? So that when the bear market comes, you're in a good spot. That's kind of how I see it. That's kind of how I see it. Attacking it now, getting that personal assessment. So you can take a look at where you are. Looking good doing it. What's going on, my friend? LFG, let's freaking go, CJ. Let's get this. Indeed. That's what it is. All right, fam. I'm going to hop off here for sure. More Flair DeFi in the Patreon. Patreon.com/golf whiskey mastermind. Come hang out. If you want DeFi outside of Flair, we do coaching, one-on-one coaching from beginning to end, from wallet setup to all of it. We'll do it all there. $50 an hour is what we do for coaching there. We can get that done. I appreciate you guys checking in. As always, I'm going to wrap up this live stream like I do all my live streams. Do me a favor and hit the like button on the way out if you didn't get a chance to do so on the way in. If you happen to be in that 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Seeds, if you've been enjoying the Hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live, or whenever we upload a video. There's another link for the MoneyMaxx account to register, to get the live seminar, to learn more, to see a visual, what it looks like and how it works. Tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time. So there that is there. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.